Moving on, we have Heavy Dirty Soul. For now, this is definitely going to go in the S tier. Slightly behind Car Radio, but not much. And yeah, I think this is a music video which unofficially launched us into the Trench era and really the story of Dima as a whole. We didn't quite understand that at the time that it came out, obviously, because if I'm remembering this correctly, it was the beginning of 2017, I think, when this music video came out. And then everything for Trench came out in 2018, starting kind of spring and summer into the fall when they released the album in October. So we didn't understand really anything about how this tied in. And honestly, we didn't fully understand how this ties into the story until the I Am Clancy video. We kind of guessed at it and certain things made sense, right? We saw the car, which we then see in Jumpsuit. And we saw this weird figure who we kind of slowly connected to being one of the bishops. But none of that, we didn't have any context for that when this music video originally came out. And even when we had Jumpsuit, we saw that link in the music video, but I think it took longer than it should have for a lot of those connections to be made. And then, of course, like I said, we got the full clarity on what was really going on with the I'm Clancy video. But even regardless, story aside, this is a very cool music video. It's very well done. It's a great song, so I'm very glad they did a music video for it. Obviously, we know more about how the car is important and significant and all of that. So yeah, overall great music video. S tier. Might move down slightly, but right now it's pretty close alongside Car Radio. Stressed Out. I'm not going to put this in S tier, but I will put this at the top of the A tier. Car Radio was arguably the most iconic music video from 21 Pilots from the Vessel era. Stressed Out is arguably the most iconic music video by 21 Pilots of all time, because that's their biggest song. I assume it's the one that most people associate with 21 Pilots. Why is it not in S tier then? Well, I think it fits the song very well. I think it is a great music video, but it's not my favorite. And Stressed Out is not my favorite song. And I think also, arguably, if you leave aside the status of an iconic music video for a second, Car Radio is better than Stressed Out in many ways. Now, Stressed Out, the music video, is very good. That's why it's the top of the A tier. But it's not quite S tier. It doesn't quite make it up into that next tier. Ride. I'm going to put this at the bottom of the B, honestly. It's cool, it's good, it's fine. I really like the song, but the music video, I don't know. I was never really a big fan of the overexposed, underexposed switches. It's a bit too, I don't know. It's a bit too extreme, perhaps, or not even that. It didn't work as well as I wanted it to. And then something which they did with a lot of the music videos throughout the Blurryface era, and when I say a lot, I mean two, Ride and Lame Boy. But they switched between them playing or performing in one place and then going to concert footage in the other, and that is fine, but there is so much concert footage, and they release so many videos of concert footage that whenever they put that in a music video, I always feel like lazy isn't the right word. It isn't exactly lazy, but it's more that I wish we could have gotten something more, because we already have a lot of concert footage, and that's pretty easy to find. Sure, they use it quite well, and I think the best example of them using concert footage in a music video very well is this most recent one that we have for the demo of Doubt. That's entirely concert footage, and works very well. They did a similar thing with their cover of Jar of Hearts. They know how to use concert footage well in a music video, but it's never going to be my favorite music video when they do that, with the exception of Car Radio, right? But that's a pretty different thing, because the whole story is kind of performing that song, right? That is the story of the music video. All right, next up, Fairly Local. I'm going to put this right above Stressed Out. I think a couple years ago, I might have had those flipped, but now, as we learn more about the story and we get more imagery about the story of Trench and Dima, Fairly Local is a song and a music video which I keep returning to time and time again. So I think it's important, it's interesting, it's a very well done music video. It may be my favorite music video from the Blurryface era, besides Heavy Dirty Soul. But again, Heavy Dirty Soul, in many ways, is something which I associate with the beginning of the Trench era. I know it was released during what is still officially considered to be the Blurryface era, but still. It came out after Heathens. It kind of felt like it's in a different place to the rest of the Blurryface era and that album cycle. So Fairly Locals, yeah, it's great. It's a really good music video. I don't know why people don't like the song as much. Maybe it's a bit overplayed at this point. I don't know. I wish they played it in concert as well, more than they do. Tear in My Heart. I'm just instantly gonna put this in a D. I don't know. It's not a bad music video in and of itself, but it's definitely one of my least favorite music videos by 21 Pilots. I've mentioned before in other videos and other rankings that Tear in My Heart has never been one of my favorite songs by the band, and I don't think it ever will be. It's fine if you like it. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad song objectively. It's just, it's never been the style of song that's piqued my interest. I certainly think, you know, I don't know that the love songs, if you can call them that, by 21 Pilots, are ever going to be my favorite songs by the band. But they do have some very good ones, and Tear in My Heart is not one of those. Got a good story around it, that's fine, you know. But the song itself and the music video itself, I've never understood why they used that extreme letterboxing in the music video, where the black bars at the top and the bottom of the screen are really close together, and it's just really long, wide image. It's never been an aesthetic which I can really get behind. So, not a fan. Not really a fan. Certainly in comparison to everything else which they put out. And then we have Lane Boy. I get why they're in a lane, given the song, but that's kind of all they do. I do think the imagery of the, I guess, hazmat guys in the white suits with blanking on the letters that are written on them. It might be like fame and money or something like that. I think that imagery is really cool. I wish we saw that explored more. There certainly is a good number of imagery which we see during the Blurryface era, which we then don't really see continued again throughout the rest of them. And I understand that obviously with the release of Trench and all of that story and all of that imagery, that took precedent. That took first place. That took priority. But things like the guys in the white hazmat suits, there's got to be some way they fit into or could be tied into the Dima story. And perhaps they still will, right? As we learn more, as we get more of those Bandito letters, perhaps we will see them incorporated in some way. But for now, it's cool imagery that I wish they would capitalize on more. Not my favorite music video. It's good. It's fun. But I think this is fine for now, and I might even move it down a bit more as we go on.